What's going on there, guys, and welcome back to Unveiling Wild. Most people have some sort of animal phobia, whether that's a fear of crocodiles as a consequence of tabloid-style blockbusters or a horror of anything slimy and crawly, but which creatures are worth dreading? You could be taken aback by the reaction. All crustaceans are kind of scary. Just look at them. They're all hard and spiny, and their hands and arms are literally weapons, but there are some crab-like creatures that are even more terrifying than average. So here are 10 crustaceans you should fear the most. Before we get started, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos going forward. Number 10, Toxic Crab. This genus has 572 species divided into 133 genera, making it the world's biggest crab family. Mud crabs are another name for them, and their bright colors set them apart. Some species in this family, which may be found all over Australia's beaches, include poisons that aren't always removed by frying the crab. Gorilla crabs, mud crabs, pebble crabs, and rubble crabs are all members of the Xanthidae family of crabs. Xanthid crabs are vividly colored and very toxic, have poisons that are not eliminated by boiling, and for which there is no known antidote. Saxitoxin and tetrodotoxin, two poisons found in these crabs, have the ability to kill people. Because crabs can't produce their own poisons, they form symbiotic partnerships with bacteria, which is almost certainly the cause. Poisoning only occurs when humans eat crabs because they lack the capacity to administer these toxins. So if you're not sure what sort of crab you're eating, it's best to avoid it. Number 9, Noble Crayfish. The European crayfish, also known as the noble crayfish or broad-fingered crayfish, is the most abundant crayfish species in Europe and a traditional food source. A. asticus, like other real crayfish, is a freshwater creature that can only be found in clean streams, rivers, and lakes. This species was historically common in Europe, albeit it was difficult to get, and it's now regarded as the best eating crayfish. It is, however, vulnerable to the crayfish plague spread by the invasive North American species signal crayfish, Passiphasticus lineusculus, and is therefore classified on the IUCN Red List as a vulnerable species. The consumption of A. asticus has been documented since the Middle Ages, when it was popular among the Swedish aristocracy, and by the 17th and 18th centuries, it had spread to all social levels owing to its widespread availability. The crayfish are caught in traps in the wild, but this approach is being phased out in favor of more extensive aquaculture of the signaled crayfish in man-made ponds. Crayfish eating is an integral aspect of traditional Nordic culture, with crayfish parties marking the end of the summer. Number 8, Japanese Spider Crab. Translation: a huge crab that resembles a spider. There's no need to be alarmed, they normally sit at a depth of roughly 1,000 feet. Spider crabs are the biggest of all crustaceans, and they may live for hundreds of years or more. They're friendly giants that like to scavenge dead animals and vegetation despite their menacing appearance. Decorator crabs are crabs that decorate their shells with sponges or anemones to disguise themselves. Number 7, Tasmanian Monster Crab. The asymmetric claws of Tasmanian monster crabs, one little and one enormous, are by far the most threatening feature of the species, which they share with many other stone crabs. One of their claws is a ruthless armored machine of epic proportions, a bony cage packed with more rippling muscle than a heyday Arnold Schwarzenegger's forearms, capable of smashing snail shells and human hands alike, and then there's the big claw. The huge right-hand claw is a preposterous Mephistophelian device, gigantic to the point of grotesqueness, as if it were some sort of demonic supernatural mutation. As a punishment, Ursula the sea witch cursed the crab with some form of hideous crustacean elephantiasis when he was found collecting clams from her garden. This claw is equipped with absurdly extended, pointed black points that arc over each other like old-school Chinese nobles' long, unclipped fingernails. I'm pretty much convinced that this colossal pair of meat-hook scissors has only one purpose: slicing into mortals' belly buttons and taking their souls from their bodies. Number 6, Giant Acorn Barnacle. The acorn barnacle, which is related to shrimp, has a cone-shaped shell that conceals its identity. However, it starts off as a free-swimming larva. When it's time to settle, the larva uses its first antennae, which contain cement glands, to glue its head to a hard surface, such as a wharf-piling, ship, rock, or hard-shelled animal. Acorn barnacles eat zooplankton while they're submerged, filter-feeding crabs ingest a lot of debris as well. Acorn barnacles don't consume during the frigid winter months, relying only on previously accumulated food sources. They also eat the excrement from fish on occasion. The cirri of acorn barnacles is used for feeding. Cirri are appendages that resemble feet and have a feathery, soft touch to them. Cirri may also be used to help with breathing. Number 5. The anglerfish. The anglerfish was featured in the film Finding Nemo. Anglerfish are notable for having a form of light-up fishing rod on the top of their heads. The anglerfish's large mouth attracts unwary fish who are subsequently swallowed up by the anglerfish's glow in the deep dark waters they dwell. Male anglerfish lack this ability because they use their keen teeth to cling onto the much bigger females. He combines with the female over time and loses all of his organs save his reproductive organs. Unfortunately, since it's also considered a delicacy in certain areas of the globe, this strange-looking fish is endangered. Number 4. Blobfish. In 2013, this unfortunate fish was rated the ugliest animal, and it's no surprise that it was named as such. This gelatinous creature, with no bones and almost no muscles, is really rather adorable in our opinion. When the blob is in its native home, 3,000 feet below the surface, it seems to be very normal. It's adapted to the immense pressures at this deep by maintaining its form. The water pressure is 120 times greater below the surface in the dark, quiet seas. Number 3. Greenland Shark. Because we seldom encounter this intriguing shark, we know very little about it. It prefers chilly Arctic seas that are roughly 2,000 feet deep. Greenland sharks are among the biggest sharks in the world, reaching 20 feet in length and weighing up to 2,500 pounds. They may also live to be very elderly. One shark, estimated to be roughly 512 years old, has been discovered. The stomachs of Greenland sharks have been discovered to include the remnants of polar bears, horses, moose, and, in one occasion, an entire deer. But have no worry, these creatures were most likely scavenged since they're very blind and sluggish. Because trimethylamine oxide, which is a natural antifreeze, is found in their flesh, they're considered to be quite toxic. Number 2. Colossal Squid. These colossi seem like they belong in a science fiction story, yet they live at depths of roughly 3,000 feet in our seas. They're massive, measuring 32 feet long, the size of a school bus by the way, and weighing over 1,100 pounds. They're the biggest invertebrate we are aware of, since we have no idea what else lurks under the sea. Their eyes may be as long as a dinner plate, measuring up to 10 inches in diameter. Squids with colossal beaks employ a hard structure similar to a parrot's beak to grab fish. The sperm whale is its sole predator. When these two meet, it's a really titanic confrontation. The squid doesn't give up easily, and many sperm whales have battle scars from their meal. Number 1. Black swallower. At 9,000 feet, roughly 30 times the length of a football field, this deep-sea fish may be discovered. This little fish, about 9 inches long, is frightening not because of its size, but because of how it consumes. They consume their prey entire, even if the prey is twice their size. They achieve this by extending their huge mouth to envelop their prey. When they become greedy and take on a fish that's too large for them, the meal rests in the expanding stomach of the black swallower, generating gases. This gas causes the black swallower to float to the surface, where it dies prematurely due to its inability to adjust the low pressure at the surface. This brings us to the end of our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and do remember to hit that bell so you don't miss out on future videos going forward. And if you enjoy the content, then do let us know by smashing that like button. And until next time, take care and goodbye.